G'day guys and welcome back to GNs_gaming for another Dokkan battle video. So for today's video here we got a little bit of a surprise in the data download. We found out that the EZAs are coming for the AGL Cell and the STR Goku and Gohan, who I have right here. So a bit sad that we did get that leaked beforehand, but Global Dokkan and the JP have now tweeted this info, so I thought it was a good opportunity for us to go through and have a look at their kit. So we'll start off with the AGL Cell, and then move on to Goku Gohan. So for the leader skill here, they're going to still be a 3 key 170, and then it's just the additional key. To Cell Saga Power Absorption, and then the extra key to androids. And then let's have a look at this passive here, because obviously the links and all of that don't change. So for the first form cell, we've got key plus 1 and 250% attack and defense, 50% chance to dodge. When performing a super, we get 170% attack and defense. 2 or more enemy, we've got the 80% attack and defense, and then chance of performing a crit and dodging plus 18%. Interesting. So that would mean that we'd have a 68% chance to dodge, which is definitely nice. When facing 3 or more enemies, we then get an additional 70% attack and defense and chance of performing a crit plus and dodging plus 17%. So that would jump us to an 85% chance to dodge. Nice. We'll definitely take that. Not too often that you do go up against 2 or 3 enemies, but maybe Super Battle Road and whatnot, that could help. When HP is 50% or less, or more, we get 2 key, launch an additional super attack that has launch an additional attack that has a 50% chance of being a super. He then gets damage reduction, chance of performing a crit, and chance of evading plus 17%. So that's interesting, because if you add that on, what does that not give him? A guaranteed dodge? 17 plus 17 is 34, plus 18, 52, unless they're separate procs. But the way that we found out the passives had been working, they'd been adding. So I think they should stack. Interesting. I should try and clarify that somewhere. But for our super attack effect here, we greatly raise attack. So that is an infinite stack. And then we greatly raise defense for 1 turn. So additional is definitely going to be pretty handy on this guy here. Then, as you saw, we do transform into a second form cell. So I think that was from the 3rd turn. So from there, it's 2 key, 280% attack and defense. We've got guard, which is nice. When we're combining that with damage reduction, crit, and dodge, 17%. So 17% damage reduction, sort of like a start if we start getting some more of that. So when attacking with 12 key or more, we get the 180% again. 2 or more enemies, 120%. And then we get that additional 18% crit and dodge. When HP is 50% or more, you've got the additional that has a 50% chance of being a super, which is, again, very good, because we're stacking that attack. Then damage reduction, chance of performing a crit, and dodge plus 18%. So that would have us at 35% dodge and damage reduction. Combining that with guard, I think that will be pretty effective there. And same super attack effect where we're greatly raising attack and then greatly raising defense. Then we go into Perfect Cell, and this is where we want to be insane, because he's going to be a very, very good linking partner with the new cell. So we've got key 3 and 400% attack and defense, which is a really high number. He's got the damage reduction, chance to perform a crit, and dodge of 35%. Then guards for 3 turns. When attacking with 12 or more key, 180%. Then when HP is 50% or more, launches an additional that has a 70% chance of becoming a super. And then the crit and chance to dodge plus 35%. So I guess you can sort of take that as he's going to have the 70% chance to dodge. So you probably want that for your supers, and then you're just relying on that 35% damage reduction for any normals that you would take. So let's see, for his super attack effect, he greatly raises the attack, so 50% attack and defense for 1 turn. I think he'll be an interesting character to see what those stats look like in game. Then he does still have that rage form where he's got the 3 key 200% attack, and then he performs a guaranteed crit. Like, performing those guaranteed crits are definitely really important for these rage modes. So yeah, interesting. Like, I'll be interested to see what his stats do look like in game. So and then in that rage form, he greatly raise attack for like that 1 turn. So there you go. That's Cell. Yeah, I'll be interested to see some calcs as well as him in game. But then we also have the STR Goku Gohan, who is the one that most people will probably be excited for. Their lead is Super Saiyan / Goku family, and then the additional to Android Cell Saga. So at the very least, that's a very nice little leader skill for Ultimate Clash. So I'm going to be loving that. For their passive, we've got 2 key and 200% attack and defense. We've got that when attacking with 12 key or more, you get the 159%. For 5 turns, we get an additional 159% defense, 70% chance of performing a crit. Launches an additional that has a 70% chance of being a super, and then we've got a 70% chance to dodge within the turn after performing a super. So still sort of the same way that this guy is going to be a slot 2 or 3 unit. Then starting from the 6th turn, you've got 59% defense, high chance of performing a crit, so a 50. Launches an additional that has a 50% of chance of becoming a super, and then a 50% chance to dodge after performing our own super. After evading an attack, he then gets an additional 59% attack and defense. So interesting. So we could, yeah, we can get some additionals there. We've got dodge, and we've got some stats. Okay. For the super attack effect, we greatly raise attack. So that is an attack stacker of 50%. Then greatly raises defense for 1 turn, and then has the 50% chance to stun. So looking at that, they do really want to get the they want you to transform into Gohan. Into Gohan sooner rather than later. So then you can exchange into a Gohan. Here I can already see the massive there. It is nice. And this is a bit longer. So for his passive here, we've got the 2 key and 250% attack and defense. When he receives an attack, he gets 58% attack. The more HP remaining, we get more defense, so up to a max of 158% there. For the first 3 turns, he's got the guard and then 58% damage reduction, which should be nice. After guard is activated 2 times in battle, so after he gets the hits twice, he gets 158% defense, 10% damage reduction, and 20% crit. When it's activated 3 times, you get an additional 158% attack and defense, another 10% damage reduction, and 30% crit. And then when it's been activated in 5 times, you get the guaranteed guard again. Ooh. Then the damage reduction plus 10%, chance of performing a crit plus 50%. So at that point, you got guaranteed crit, you got 30% damage reduction, and guard. So then when receiving a Ki Blast super attack, you got the 70% chance to nullify it and counter with ferocious power. When HP is 77% or less, that's just guaranteed. So interesting. You get those hits in quickly, and you could build this guy up. It'll be very interesting to see what his stats look out, especially post super, because as you can see, we massively raise attack and defense for 1 turn. So there you go, guys. That is the details for the 2 EZAs. I'll be very interested to see them in game. I think the Cell's going to be really handy, obviously, because we are going to be getting the new Cell, and he's going to be able to provide a good linking partner there. And then the Goku Gohan sort of can afford to be not too crazy, I feel like, just because we've got so many good super class units at the moment. But they are going to have a bunch of teams that they can be run on, so with no restrictions on their kit, they could certainly be a good unit that we can throw onto teams. So let me know your thoughts on the two EZAs down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to go and catch the rest of the new videos that come out, and hopefully I'll catch you all on the next one.